We waiting. I think it's still loading up. Here we go. What's good, baby? It is your boy, True X, the sports junkie, and welcome to MBS Central's Stardom Sit-em. This is our fantasy football show. I'm going to help you with your weekly. Hey, look, I'm going to help you weekly with your fantasy football needs. Of course, my co-host again, he's ducking me. I don't know what's going on. Keo just been ducking me week in and week out. I guess he don't want no smoke. He's going to come on here and brag to you guys how he beat me last week in our vaulted NBS in the MBS league. But look, I done made some trades and I'm ready to go. Let me see what's going on. Hold on. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Let's get it. This one. Hold on. What's going on? I apologize to you guys. Oh, Lord. Who's on here right now? Oh, Lord. Somebody must be trying to get in the Zoom meeting, as I can see me from different angles right now. But it's probably one of the MBS members. Maybe that's Keo trying to make a Sting-like entrance. But I'm going to move on. I'm not going to worry about what Keo's doing, if he is doing something. Oh, my.
Keo. Yes, sir.
Going up like Sting on me.
Yes, sir. What's happening? Yo, bro. Keo told me to get up on the Stardom Sit-em show. He said you were waiting on me, so I pulled up on the Stardom Sit-em show.
Well, it's all good. Mike. Well, I appreciate you for coming through.
Yes, sir.
Y'all make sure y'all tune into Larson Live every Friday night, man, for my guy, Mike Larson. But now he's on my turf. He's on Stardom, and it is going down. Sir. Okay, Mike, so real quick, this is how we do things. I know you tuned into the show. So top 5 quarterbacks on the day, excluding the elite guys. We know Patrick Mahomes, you started him no matter what. Lamar Jackson. But who's the top 5 guys you have as far as the quarterback position?
Looking at this week, I like Cam Newton to come back. I got him at number 5 getting some rushing touchdowns. I think they're obviously the Broncos defense is riddled with injuries. I like Cam Newton to be in the top 5, get a rushing touchdown or 2, and step into the top 5 at number 5. For my number 4, I think, but are we keeping Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady in the elite conversation?
Well,
Tom Brady hasn't.
Yeah, Brady's not a part of our elite conversation. I'm gonna tell you who it is. It's Mahomes, Jackson, Wilson, Watson, and Rodgers. That's who me and Q have right now.
Yeah, you guys keep out of that. Okay. So for Tom Brady, I'm putting at number 4. If the Bucs are going to win, their offense has to step up. If they're going to be competitive, their offense has to step up. Because Vita Vea on defense, their defensive tackle, their nose tackle, that's a big loss, and they're gonna give up a couple third downs, and that's gonna give Aaron Rodgers extra chances. So the offense has to step up. They're all healthy. Evans, Godwin, Scotty Miller's all there. Cameron Breit, he's finding a relationship with him, a connection with him. I got Tom Brady at number 4. I expect him to put up good numbers. Number 3. Let's say Ryan Fitzpatrick. I expect him to be in the top 5 as well. Playing against the Jets, you got to start him. Absolutely. I think he's a great option on the waiver wire. For now, he's somebody that I picked up with Dak Prescott getting hurt. So I picked him up, and I'll start him this week, and then from here on, I'll be doing I'll be doing Matthew Stafford with that team. At number 2, actually, I probably should have put him at number 2. But between him and Stafford, I think you should definitely start both of those top 3 guys right there. Matthew Stafford's playing. He's playing Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're terrible defense. They're one of the worst in the league. I know you were real high on them, but no. I do think that Matthew Stafford will have a big game coming back from injuries. And he should definitely have a big one there. And then number one, it's tough because I'm not real solid on it. I'm not super solid on it, but I like the Rams and the 49ers to be in a shootout.
Okay.
And I like them to be in a shootout a little bit. I think Sunday Night Football, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to air it out a bit, but the 49ers obviously keep it on the ground a little bit more.
That's right.
I like Jared Goff to put up some numbers. I like him to put up some numbers. Kind of like, we've seen it before. We've seen him have big games. And I like the Rams to put up some big numbers. I think it's going to be a high scoring game between the Rams and Niners, like a 35-30 game,
wow.
40, something like that. Yeah. So I'm expecting, 300 plus 350 from Jared Goff and maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns. That's what I'm seeing from Jared Goff this week.
Definitely. Okay. So me and you actually agreed on a lot. The only thing that was different was that one game where you had at 1. I don't have Goff in my top 5. So coming in at number 5, I actually got Andy Dalton. I believe that. Yeah, I believe that if Dak Prescott was putting up historical numbers, Andy Dalton's going to be at least pretty good. Yeah. I mean, that offense has weapons.
I missed that Monday night game.
So I believe Dalton's going to be good. I can't put him higher than 5 because of the fact that I have to see it first. He came in the fourth quarter. I got to see more than that. So I'm going to go with Dalton at 5. At 4, I'm going to Minshew versus Detroit. I think that game is going to be the shootout. I think me and you look at that game. I know you said Detroit and Stafford, but I think Gardner Minshew is going to put up big numbers against Matthew Stafford because I think that game could be in the low 30s, maybe even high 30s in that game as far as Jacksonville versus Detroit. Coming in number 3, I got Ryan Fitzpatrick. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Anybody that plays the New York Jets, you're starting. So I'm definitely starting Ryan Fitzpatrick. Coming in number 2, me and Mike agree on that as well. Brady. I'm going with Tom Brady, the GOAT, man. Going up against Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. I just believe that he's going to have to outdo Aaron Rodgers to get this victory. So I'm going with Brady at 2. I think it's a great start today. But coming in number 1, Mike brought his name up. I told you I think it's going to be a shootout. I got Matthew Stafford at 1. I think he's going to have a monumental game today. I'm talking possibly 400 passing yards, possibly 3 to 4 touchdowns. So I'm going Matthew Stafford at number 1 today when it comes to the quarterback position. Okay, let's move on to running backs. Who you got in the top 5 running backs, Mike?
I like that you brought up the Monday night game. I forgot about that, and I should have had. And you didn't. You said Kyler's not an elite guy.
No,
Kyler's not an elite guy to you guys. I would have put him up there too. But so for running backs, we'll start out with Chase Edmonds.
Wow. The biasness going on, people.
We'll start out with Chase Edmonds. He's been I think he's going to start stealing touches. I swear he is because he's doing more with less than Kenyon Drake. Quick Kingsbury, he's a smart guy. He's got it. Oh, and who are elite running backs right now? Who are elite running backs?
Okay, we got Well, obviously C-Mac and Barkley is out, but that's the 2 elite guys. Zeke is out as well.
Yep.
Kamara and Henry. And that's the only elite guys that we have right now currently.
Good stuff. All right. So, Aaron Jones, of course, too, right?
No, we don't have Aaron Jones. I think I actually said Aaron Jones should be among these.
Bro, he's elite now. Bro, he's elite.
I got voted out.
Well, let me put Aaron Jones at number 5 then, because Aaron Jones is always. That's unfair. That's unfair. I won't put him in there, but he should be starting in everybody's lineup every week.
I agree.
So Chase Edmonds, I like him to get a touchdown or 2 with the Cardinals this week and put up points. Number 4, again, like I said, the 49ers always like to keep it on the ground. And Raheem Mostert, he's been so consistent. If I think the least amount of points he's had in the game is 17 when he's played. So you got to start this guy. And I think he will have a top 5 showing. I'll put him at number 4. Now, the Buccaneers and Packs game is interesting. Like I said, I think Tom Brady will have a big game. Ronald Jones has been pretty consistent.
Yes.
He has been very consistent, and if the Buccaneers are going to win, I think they need him to have a good game, and so I'm putting him at number 3. If he gets 85 to 100 yards, a touchdown, I think that should keep him in the top 5 of fantasy production this week. Number 2, Damian Harris is gonna get touches. I love Damian Harris. I love Damian Harris the Pats are running the ball. They're running the ball. And I like Damian Harris to get his touches. And I think they're gonna blow out the Broncos. So I like Damian Harris this week, and I'd put him in the top 5. And then at number 1, like I said, Aaron Jones is the guy, but Alexander Madison.
Wow.
You guys want to know something. You getting all my people. You guys want to know something. This guy hit me up in the week, and he was trying to get Alexander Madison. He said, I could use 25 points this week. And I said, yeah, me too. You can have him next week.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm with you. Since me and you agree on Aaron Jones, I'm going to take him out because I had him at number 1. But it's really not fair because I agree with you. Aaron Jones should be among the elite. Yeah. We got to do better. I mean, come on, man. Yes, so I'm going to start at 5. I'm going to go with Mostert. I actually agree with you on that. I actually didn't have him on here, but now that I moved Aaron Jones up, Mostert to me is a guy that you should start pretty much every week outside of the elite guys. You don't want to, if you start him at running back 2 or flex, he has to be in your lineup. When Mostert's healthy, he puts up big numbers. So I'm going with Raheem Mostert at number 5. At number 4, I'm going Mike Davis. Yes. He's going up against Chicago. I know Chicago got a good defense, but that's his former team. For anybody out there. And in this offense, he's actually looked just as good as C-Mac. And we know if you have C-Mac, you're starting him. So I'm starting Mike Davis at 5. At 4, I'm starting James Robinson versus Detroit. I think this is the shootout game. We always pick one game that we think is a big shootout. I think James Robinson versus Detroit is a big shootout game. I can see where he can sneak in a couple of touchdowns in this game, possibly go over 100. And I told y'all last week, I like how hard he runs. So I'm going with James Robinson. At 3, this guy right here is in a great situation because Nick Chubb went down. I got Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, to me, really, without Chubb, I can make a case that he should be in the elite category because I think that's how many touches he's going to get. He's going to catch the ball at the backfield. He's going to run the ball at the backfield. He knows, he's going to line up in different areas of the field. I'm going Kareem Hunt at 3. But at 1, Mike is 1,000% correct. I tried to steal him from him under his nose. Alexander Madison against Atlanta. Have we seen the Atlanta defense, people? Oh my God.
42 points.
And Kirk Cousins has been terrible. You got to stop letting Kirk Cousins throw the ball, run the ball with Alexander Madison. So I'm going Madison at number 1. I think he could have a monster game today. And I think he'll actually lead all running backs in fantasy today. So that's where I'm going with the top. That's crazy. Me and you agreeing on a lot of things already. Me and Keel never agree.
It's because I'm a smart man. That's why.
There you go. All right, we're going to move on to wide receivers, Mike. The wide receivers that we consider elite are Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen, and Tyreek Hill are the only guys that we consider elite.
Okay. You had no Bucks wide receivers in there.
No Bucks wide receivers.
Okay.
And I can't blame Keel because I think that Mike Evans is too inconsistent for me to be elite. I would start some people over Mike Evans.
He is pretty inconsistent. I agree with that. Okay, so at number 5, I'll put Chris Godwin. He's played 2 games. And he's had like 16 and 18 points each time. Brady likes him. He has sure hands. I definitely think he'll be in the top 5. It obviously depends on who's matched up with Jare Alexander. because that's the Packers' number one corner.
Mm-hmm.
If he's matched up with Mike Evans, then, you know, you got an issue. If he's matched up with Godwin, then Godwin's going to have a little bit tougher time. But if he gets the touchdown, he'll break it off for you, and he'll be worth it. But yeah, that's a little bit worrisome with whoever is guarded by Jaire Alexander, one of the best corners in the game right now. Number 4, I'm trying to figure out which one it should be. It's either CD Lamb or Cooper. You know, I put a little CD or Cooper. That's my number 4, because I don't know which one Andy Dalton's gonna favor. You know, he could favor Gallup too, but obviously CD is the one that's getting most open because he's the number 3 guy. But you know, he has elite route running abilities, and he's getting open. So that's who I'll put at number 4, CD Lamb. Number 3, you know what I don't know, who has Ryan Fitzpatrick been throwing to? Is it Devontae Parker?
It's like last game Parker had a touchdown, but it was Preston Williams who had the big game last week with over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Okay. That's interesting, because I haven't really been paying attention to the Dolphins, except seeing that Ryan Fitzpatrick's been playing well. I haven't watched any of their games. So I won't put any of their wide receivers in there. I don't want to guarantee anything like that. Number 3, then I'll put Odell, because I have the Browns winning this game.
Wow. Okay.
I have the Browns winning this game. The Steelers blitz a lot, and they blitz 6 or 7 guys, and they leave their corners out on islands, and they expect them to guard these outside receivers and force the quarterbacks to make good decisions. I think Baker's going to hit Odell at least one time on a big play, and it could turn into a touchdown. And I think he's going to hit him 1 or 2 times on big plays when the Steelers blitz. That's why I didn't put Kareem Hunt in there, by the way, because I think the Steelers are going to kind of lock up the run game a little bit. Obviously, he'll get touches, but I don't. You know, he might squeak out a touchdown, but I'm thinking more like 45 yards, you know, and maybe a touchdown for him. But at number 3, I'm putting Odell. I think he'll have a big game. Number 2, we haven't talked to any Ravens yet. And, I mean, that Eagles defense is so bad. It is so bad right now. Their injuries are so bad right now. I got to put Marquis Brown in there. Marquis Brown. I think he's gonna have a big game and show out against this weak Eagles team, and that's who I'll put at the number 2 position. Obviously missing out on a lot of receivers here, but Lions and Jaguars. You mentioned that it would be a shootout. DJ Chark is injured. I can't figure out which one it's going to be, Shenault or Cole, but I'll put Keenan Cole. I think is going to have a pretty good game.
Another biased pick, people.
Wow. Keenan Cole is somebody that I favored because I think Minshew's very comfortable with him, and he keeps throwing the ball to him. With DJ Chark out, who's going to get those looks? And if it's going to be a shootout between the Lions and Jaguars, somebody's got to get the ball. And so I'll put Keelan Cole out there at number 1.
All right. Hey, look, I ain't mad at you. I'm going to start off with number 5. Probably the hottest guy when it comes to the waiver wire this past week. I'm going Chase Claypool, man. I understand that they're going up against the Browns. A lot of people have the Browns win that game. But I just believe, like, man, Big Ben has made so many receivers good in fantasy. We can go back to Santonio Holmes, Plaxico Burress, Hines Ward, Antonio Brown. I just think that Claypool, he's not going to have the game he had last week. We understand that. That's why he's coming at number 5. But he's worth the risk to start him this week after the week he had over 40 fantasy points last week. There's no way in the world I'm not playing this guy. So I'm going Chase Claypool at number 5. Coming at number 4, we saw it last week against the Buffalo Bills. A.J. Brown's back. And the Titans offense, they're physical. You can't try to stop their passing game first because you got to stop King Henry. And A.J. Brown, to me, he's physical. He'll get the cornerback off of him along with Jonah Smith. So I'm going with A.J. Brown at number 4. I think he's going to get a touchdown in this game somehow, some way. Number 3, I think is a guy that's super underrated. I think when we think of the elite guys, we don't mention this guy because of his quarterback situation. Now we know Nick Foles is the starting quarterback, but Allen Robinson, man, going back to last year, this dude has been putting up good numbers. If I go back to Jacksonville, he had a good year. He had a good 2 years, I think, in Jacksonville for sure, one. And he left on a bad note because his last year in Jacksonville wasn't as good. But in Chicago this year, every game he's had double digits except for one. I like Allen Robinson against Carolina today, so I'm going to start Allen Robinson at number 3. At number 2, the shootout game of the day, Kenny Golladay versus Jacksonville. I don't know if they're going to have an answer for him. I think Golladay has a monster game today. Like I said, I think Matthew Stafford could go over 400 passing yards, so I'm going with Golladay at 2. At number 1, Mike, you were scared to do it. I'm not. Devontae Parker versus New York. I just think Parker, man, this is just too easy of a matchup. I told y'all last week I don't like nobody on the Jets. Every time you play against the Jets, anybody playing against the Jets, you're starting them. So I'm starting Parker. If I had a 6 or 7 or 8 spot, I'd probably have Preston Williams on there as well.
Yeah.
As far as the Cowboys, let me say this because I want it before I move on. I'm with you 1,000%. I wanted to put a Cowboy in my top 5. I just couldn't figure out who I wanted to put. So I was like, you know what? I'm not putting none of them, but please start them. Feel more than welcome to start them because I do think those dudes can get off this week. So start those guys. But let's move on to tight end real quick. The elite guys is Kelsey, Kittle, Ertz, Andrews, and Waller. The only 5 dudes that are elite, and Waller obviously is on a bye week this week. So we don't have to worry about Waller.
Interesting. Cameron Breit, number 5.
That dude, oh my God.
I love this dude. What are we talking about here? And Tom Brady loves him as well. That's the point here. Cameron Brady at number 5. I think Tom Brady has really found a connection with him. He's gotten 5-6 targets each week since OJ Howard went down. He was just waiting for OJ to get cut or traded or go down with injury just so he could throw to his favorite white dude. I got Cameron Breit at number 5, and take me serious with that. Number 4, I like Higbee. I like Higbee too. He hasn't been getting the same amount of targets. Everett's been stealing some targets as well, but touchdown wise, like I said, I think Goff is going to get a lot of touchdowns here. And a lot of yardage. It's got to go somewhere. You got Woods, you got Kupp, and I should have put one of those two in the top 5, but I think it'll be spread out a little bit, and I think Higbee will benefit most, especially because he's a tight end in a weak position. So I'll put Tyler Higbee there. Number 3. Let's see. All the elite guys are out. All the elite guys are out. Unbelievable. I know the Vikings tight end has been getting some touches. I'm not super confident on that. Cox is out as well on the Colts. Who is he gonna throw to? Who's the tight end he's gonna throw to?
Mo Alley Cox or
no, Mo Alley Cox is out.
He's out. That's what I thought. Yeah, but
I don't even know.
Mo Alley Cox was a target prior, but your boy Jack Doyle. Is Jack Doyle going to step up and be that guy?
Is he in?
He's in. He should be out. Yeah,
he is in. Then I go ahead and throw him out there. I go ahead and throw him out there. At number 3. Go ahead, start him. Phillip Rivers loves tight ends. He was targeting Mo Alley Cox. And with Mo Alley Cox out now, go ahead and start Jack Doyle. It's not a very risky choice there at all. And then number 2, Nick Foles really likes tight ends. He really likes tight ends, and for some reason, Jimmy Graham is starting to get touches again. He has over the last couple games, 3 receptions, 33 yards, a touchdown, 4 receptions, 33 yards, and then 6 catches, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that's when Nick Foles popped in, was against the Falcons. Start Jimmy Graham. Number 2, Nick Foles loves tight ends. And then number 1, my number 1 tight end, Mike Gesicki. With that's the one guy that I'll definitely be confident in. Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing to, especially against the Jets. Mike Gesicki. He's not an elite guy yet, but he's definitely getting up there. That's who I'll start at the number 1 spot.
Okay, coming in number 5 for me is Ebron. I just think that Ebron's going to have a good game against the Cleveland Browns because I think that you're going to have to try to stop all the other guys. Juju, Claypool, Connor. I think Ebron could squeak out a touchdown in this game. And like I said, Titans is so hard to hit on. So you got to find a game where something could happen where that guy can score a touchdown. Because if you get a touchdown from your tight end, that's big. That's big in fantasy world. Coming number 4, I got Schultz versus Arizona. I couldn't pick a receiver, but I'm going to pick the tight end, Schultz. I think that he's finding his way within that offense. And then, like I said, if you go back to Andy Dalton in Cincinnati, we know Tyler Eifert was one of the best tight ends in fantasy football. So he likes to throw to his tight end. So I think that Schultz will have a good game today. Coming in number 3, I know this guy makes a lot of fantasy owners angry. I get it. But I'm starting today because of the matchup. TJ Hawkinson versus Jacksonville. I'm starting him. I'm sorry. I just think that the matchup's too good to pass up on. He may not have a big game, but I think it's worth the risk. You got to find the games where they're going to score a lot of points. I think this is one of those games where they'll score a lot of points in. Coming in number 2, I'm with Mike 1,000% again against the Jets. Gesicki, man, I hope he has a bad game because Marlon got Gesicki versus me, and I hope he don't do anything. But I have to be honest with myself. I just think that Gesicki's going to do some things versus the Jets that I'm not going to like, so I'm trying to prepare myself for that. But coming in number 1, I got Jonah Smith versus Houston. This dude is becoming really right now. If we're looking at just at the numbers right now, he's an elite tight end. I think he's number 3 right now currently at tight end. Jonah Smith has been balling. You got AJ Brown back. That's going to actually help him on top of King Henry. So I just think Jonah Smith is the number 1 guy. And I can almost make a case that he's supposed to be among the elite, but it's only his first year really doing it. So everybody's still, not all the way in on him yet, but he's doing his thing. Let's move on to defenses. Now, we haven't revamped our defenses since week 1, Mike. So the elite defenses that we have right now is the Ravens, the Bills, the Colts, the Titans, and the Niners. Obviously, we know the Niners are dealing with a lot of injuries. So it's not the same Niners defense that you had before. The
I can't pick the Colts.
The Colts have one of the best fantasy numbers. The first, they're one of the higher ranked defenses. And of course, the Bills and the Ravens and the Titans are pretty good defenses. So even though the Bills haven't played like it.
You guys made the Colts and the Titans elite defenses that I can't pick. That's annoying. Those are two of them right there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, so I'm gonna go.
What's wrong?
No worries. So let me start out with the matchup that I hadn't been on at all. We haven't picked any players or anything from this team from this matchup at all. And that's the Washington football team and the New York Giants.
Yep.
Turnover prone teams right there. I could make the case that you start both of them. I could say that you could start both of them because both of them have pretty decent defensive players on their teams. And that's actually what I'll do since you took away two of my teams, Colts and Titans. I'm going to say start. You could put both of those two in. You know what? I'll say the Washington team. The Washington team. You start them. Daniel Jones is worse. I know the Giants have a favorable matchup with the quarterback situation the football team has, but it's Alex Smith starting. Is Alex Smith starting?
Oh, Allen's the starter.
Oh, Allen's the starter. Yeah. No, I'm sticking with my guns now. I'm sticking with that. No, you could start both of them 5-4. Both of them with both Allen, and it's going to be an ugly game. Ugly game. That's all I got to say. So 5-4 there. Those are my 2 slots. At number 3, the New England Patriots. I think Drew Lock is back, but still, the Patriots are a strong defense. It's nothing that the Broncos have seen yet. That's who I'm going to be starting at number 3. They should be. I would actually put them in the lead over Colts. They're a more for sure defense than the Indianapolis Colts. Number 2, the Arizona Cardinals. Andy Dalton has been a turnover. I won't say a turnover machine, but he has had turnover issues before. This is his first start. The Cardinals are good at forcing turnovers. Either they force turnovers or they don't do anything at all. So it's kind of a boomer bust for you here. but I would trust them to force a couple turnovers. I still expect it to be a pretty high scoring game, so don't expect the point total to be low. But an interception, a fumble, they'll definitely give you that, maybe more. And then, of course, number one, the Dolphins. They're playing the Jets. That's it.
Well, you have a lot to say already now because I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking at my stuff. Okay, so coming at number 5 for me, this is, like I said, it's hard to just pick whenever you look at who we have as the elite guys. So I'm going Chicago versus Carolina. I'm not sold on it. I'll be the first one to say, but the way they got after Brady with Khalil Mack and company, I think that they could knock Teddy B off of his spot, and he could throw some interceptions in this game, even though, he doesn't like to go deep down the field. So I may be wrong about that. So that's why I put him at number 5, but I got the Chicago Bears versus the Carolina Panthers in that one. Coming at number 4, I'm with Mike. I got the Patriots versus the Broncos. Makes all the sense in the world. Why would you not start the Patriots versus Drew Lock? Drew Lock is a young quarterback. He's trying to find his way in the NFL. Just mean, come on, man. I really could put the Patriots higher. Coming at number 3 and 2, Mike, that's crazy. I didn't think you was going to agree with me. I have the Washington football team and the New York Giants. I am sure these guys are going to throw picks. They're going to fumble. You're going to get turnovers in this game. So I have both of these teams at 3 and 2. I just can't see me not starting one of those defenses. I'm actually starting the Giants in the MBS League this week. I hope they don't back. Oh, my God. I hope they don't do me wrong. But number one clear is that.
Every ounce of luck you can get.
And number 1, though, I wish I had the Dolphins this week because, my God, that's clearly the number 1 defense. I would actually start the Dolphins over the elite guys. The only team I wouldn't start the Dolphins over is the Ravens. If I had the Ravens defense, of course, I'm starting the Ravens versus the Eagles. The Eagles have been terrible. So that's the only defense I wouldn't start over them, but I like the Dolphins a lot this week, as y'all can tell. Let's move on to kickers. I know it's not, the fancy pick, but we're gonna But we're gonna go ahead and do kickers right now.
I like Joey Sly at number 5. Sly. Joey Sly at number 5. He's been very accurate. I think the Panthers and Bears will stay more on field goals and touchdowns. And that's who I'll put at number 5, point wise. Number 4, I like not Dan Bailey. Oh wait, who are elite guys, by the way? Is it just Tucker and Bucker?
It's just Bucker, Tucker, and Lutz. That's it. We only have 3
and Lutz. Okay, cool.
Guys.
Number 4, Greg Zuerlein. That's why I said Dan Bailey at first, but Greg Zuerlein, Cowboys kicker. Like I said, I think a lot of points there, whether it's field goals or point afters. I think it'll be a high scoring game. Number 3, Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts. He's been a very good kicker since this is his first season, taking over for Adam Vinatieri, playing against the Bengals. I don't know how, the point totals. I don't think they're going to score a lot of touchdowns. I think it's going to be more field goals because that's what it's been for the Colts. They haven't been very consistent throwing, scoring touchdowns. Number 2 and number 1. Again, one Monday night game. You got Zane Gonzalez at with the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. And then at number 1, another high scoring game. Matt Prater of the Detroit Lions against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, can't be mad at those. I got Mason Crosby at number 5 versus Tampa Bay. Like I said, 5 is just one of those games that possibly could be a shootout. So I went Crosby at number 5. The same thing with number 4. Same game, suck up, going up against Green Bay. I think this game has the possibilities of being a shootout, but those teams may stop them from scoring touchdowns. So I'm thinking you may get a couple of field goals in this game, but I do think they're going to enter, the other side's territory. So I'm going to go with both of those kickers. Number 3, I'm with you, Mike. 1,000%. I got Greg Zuerlein versus Arizona. I like the Cowboys this week. I actually think the Cowboys have a chance of winning the game, even though I picked the Cardinals on the MBS show or on the Let's Talk About It show. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with Zuerlein at number 3. At number 2, I'm with Mike. I got Matt Prater versus Jacksonville. Shootout is going to happen. So Gotta go Prater. But number one, Jason Sanders. This dude's the number one fantasy kicker right now. If anybody that doesn't know that, the Miami Dolphins are going to score a boatload of points. The only concern I will say about Jason Sanders is maybe touchdowns instead of field goals. That could hurt him, but I'm going Jason Sanders at number one. Let's move to flex, Mike. There's no elite guy, so you pick whoever you want at flex.
So, we, our top 5 running backs and receivers, are we allowed to put those two in,
Yeah, you put guys that you think, we put guys that we think like.
The guys that I forgot.
Yeah, you may not. Okay, like I'll give y'all one of mine. Preston Williams is on my top 5 flex plays because I think that he's a guy that you may not start at wide receiver 1 or 2, but as a flex, that would be a great flex split of me. I'll do mine, and then you could do yours.
No doubt. Okay? Go ahead. Yep.
So number 5, I got Preston Williams versus the New York Jets. Obvious reasons. I told you I think it's a shootout. Number 4, I think this guy, he came back second game back, but first game back with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's going to get his feet wet this time. Dibo Samuel. You may be scared to play him because the last 2 weeks, but I think this week against the Rams, like Mike said, could be a shootout. I'm not as on the boat with Mike on this one, but it could be. So I'm going to go Dibo Samuel at number 4. And number 3 is a guy that let a lot of people down. And let's be honest, he's let a lot of people down in fantasy. Some people have benched him. Some people have traded him. I even seen in the league where they cut him. I'm talking about T.Y. Hilton, but he's going up against the Bengals, man. I would take a shot in my flex play. I would take a shot at starting T.Y. Hilton, so I'm going with him at number 3. At number 2, I got Myles Gaskin. Come on, man. It's the Jets. I mean, I'm starting Dolphins everywhere. Now watch. The Dolphins are going to lay an egg today. Fitzpatrick has it in him where they just lay an egg, but I'm going with him at number 2. But number 1, I'm going Antonio Gibson versus the New York Giants.
That's a bias pick.
I just think that the way that he plays, he was a wide receiver at Memphis. They molded him. They moved him to running back, and he can catch the ball at the backfield very well. Well, guess who's the coach? Ron Rivera. You know who he had last year? C-Mac. I'm not saying this guy is C-Mac, Mike, but he can catch the ball at the backfield. They want to get him involved. I got Antonio Gibson. The matchup is great against the Giants, so I think Antonio Gibson will give you 10+ fantasy points on the day.
No doubt. I actually do like Gibson. I've been trying to dream up trade offers for him. Actually, I'm trying to see what I can get for him. I like Andrews too. I've been trying to see what I could get from your team, but I just haven't worked it out. I don't like trading with you. You're a manipulator.
What? I gave you Carson Wentz.
And then you sent him and somebody else for who did you get out of that? I was very upset.
Mark Ingram. Are you kidding me?
You sent Mark Ingram and somebody else for who?
I wanted Madison.
No. You just said it with Vic.
Oh yeah, I traded that boy.
You traded Mark Ingram. You traded
Mark Ingram and Devontae Parker. I traded Parker on a week that I think he's gonna be the best fantasy wide receiver for AJ Brown. So
yeah, that's what I was upset about. That's what I was upset about. Yeah, because I like AJ Brown. I was like, yeah, he just used that trade piece. I was very upset about that. Number 5, my flex. The Eagles are gonna have a pretty tough time here, but I still like Travis Fulgham. I'm not starting him this week, but that's because I think I have better options. We'll say we'll put him at number 5. I think I had better options, but I like the way Travis Fulgham plays. I'm telling you guys, go get him. If he's still on your waiver wire, I think you need to go grab him right now. I don't know if he's going to have as big of a week as last week, but I like the way he catches the ball. He had 2 big catches that were over like 2 or 3 defenders. He caught everything with his hands. He only had like one body catch. When you catch with your hands, that's so key right there. He has great hands, strong hands. Somebody I saw a comment that said he looks like a faster Michael Thomas. The body type is similar. The way he ran his route similar. I definitely see the style. Travis Fulgham, I put at number 5. He's the only guy that Carson Wentz really can throw to right now, and it seems like he found a connection with him. Number 4, damn, I was thinking Travis Fulgham this whole time, and I forgot my other options. Where the hell was I? Wow, where was I? I'm drawing blanks here now. I know I was looking at Stephon Diggs. I'll go number 4. It came up Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson against the Vikings. He's found, he's getting targets. He's getting targets from Kirk Cousins. I expect Alexander Madison to have a big game. But against the Falcons, who have very soft defenses, I definitely expect Justin Jefferson to put up points. Claypool, that was number 3. Deontay Johnson is out. So when you mentioned him again with the top 5 receivers, I didn't put him in there, but you did remind me of him. With Deontay Johnson out, I mean, Claypool's definitely the guy. He's definitely going to get some big, some deep catches. I expect him to put up points against the Steelers. A couple gaps. The Browns and Steelers. I can't wait for that game. I locked the Browns because Keo pressured me. He pressured me into locking one of those teams, and so I went with the Browns. Let's see how it goes. But that's one of my Larson's locks of the week. But I expect Claypool to get at least one deep catch and possibly turn it into a touchdown. Number 2, the Allen Robinson, like you said, that was a great point about Allen Robinson. He's found touches with Nick Foles, and he's produced every time he plays. He produces, and that's very simple. And that's who I would play as one of my top 5 flexes as well. Not a top 5 receiver, but definitely a flex. And then at number 1, Stephon Diggs. He's not one of your elite guys. I would be starting him. Don't feel pressured at all playing against the Chiefs. The Bills and the Chiefs is going to be a very good game. It could. I don't know how high scoring, but it will be a good game. They will give you challenges. And Stephon Diggs, I mean, we saw against the Raiders, the Chiefs giving up big plays. Stephon Diggs will get behind the defense and get some big plays to acquire you some points.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Let's get to the waiver wire. Who are some guys that we should go get off the waiver wire, Mike?
Okay. We're talking only receivers, running backs, quarterbacks.
Whatever you want. Any position, defense, kicker.
The most guaranteed,
top 5 waiver wire pickups.
Yep, the most guaranteed pickups that you should be getting. Number 5, I'll say the Dolphins against the Jets. If you need a defense, go get the Dolphins right now. They're going to give you points. Number 4, Alexander Madison. Again, I'm starting with most guaranteed points right here. I'm not really saying who's going to be the highest scoring, just off the top of my head. Most guaranteed pickups that will give you points this week. Alexander Madison at number 4. If he's still on your waiver wire, go pick him up and put him as your RB1, no matter what. Number 3, Andy Dalton. Again, if you need a quarterback, if Dak Prescott went down, if somebody's on a bye week, Andy Dalton's going to give you your points. Number 2, if you need a tight end, Cameron Breit.
Wow.
Cameron Breit, people. I'm on the Cameron Breit train. Let's go. Unless Rob Gronkowski starts showing something, it's Cameron Breit. It's Cameron Breit. Number 2, waiver wire pickup. If you need a tight end, I think he's going to be a great starter for the rest of the season as well. He's not going to be an off week, every once in a while. 6 targets from Tom Brady each week, maybe more, especially in the red zone. Cameron Breit is your guy to pick up if you need a tight end. And then at number 1, Travis Fulgham. Like I said, you could say Chase Claypool as well, but I think he's pretty much off the waiver wire now.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody watched Travis Fulgham like they watched Chase Claypool, though. Like I said, I talked him up a lot. I think he catches the ball really well. He looks like Michael Thomas out there, long, lanky. He doesn't have the size of hands as Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is ridiculous with that. But as for the way he catches the ball, very similar to Michael Thomas.
Okay, well, coming in number 5 for me, look, I'm not going just off today. I'm going off of, you should just go get him off the waiver wire. It can benefit you.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. He's only owned in 45.6% of ESPN leagues. That number needs to be higher. If you owning Kirk Cousins and you owning guys like Carson Wentz, why would you not pick up Justin Herbert? To me, Justin Herbert's been money in the bag every week he started. So I would go get Justin Herbert. But to Mike's point, I would definitely go get for Travis Fulgham. 45.5% of ESPN leagues he's owned in. I would definitely pick him up. You're right, Mike. He's the Eagles' one bright spot outside of Miles Sanders. I would definitely go get him. At number 3, this is not only for the future, but for today for sure. He's owned in 74.5%, which is a high number. But I think this guy's another plug and play, and that's Phillip Lindsey. No Melvin Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
We forget Lindsey was a Pro Bowler before Melvin Gordon ever came. So I think Phillip Lindsey's a great pickup and play today, and possibly, in the future, he could be something that you actually like. I know it's a tough matchup today. I get that, but I still would go pick him up, and I would actually play him in my flex. I thought about putting him in the flex position because he is the start of the day. Coming at number 2, I got Andy Dalton. He's only owned in 24.4% of leagues. Give me Andy Dalton over Kirk Cousins. I would gladly take Andy Dalton over Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is owned in much more leagues. Even Matt Ryan. I don't know what Atlanta's doing right now. Matt Ryan, I think, had 7 fantasy points last week, somewhere around there. I'm not trusting that either. I would go Andy Dalton. But number 1, I got a tight end for you, Mike. He is owned in 64.8% of the leagues. But Robert Tonyan, oh my God, a touchdown every single game this year, except for first week. I don't even know if he played the first week because he has no stats. But every game since then, he scored a touchdown. And guess what? Before the bye week, he scored 3 touchdowns in the last game they played for the Green Bay Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers has found his tight end that he's comfortable with. Dude has 5 touchdowns already this season. That's mind-boggling. And you remember, the Packers already been on their bye week. So 5 touchdowns this soon, I would definitely go get tight end. I would definitely feel comfortable starting him at tight end because we know how hard it is at the tight end position to hit. So I'm going Robert Tonyan. I actually want to trade for him. Corey, what up, man? Look, if you want Mark Andrews, you could have Andrews. You give me Tonyan and something light on the side. We can make that happen.
I like that. That's Mike. A good pick.
Yeah, man, definitely. Man, okay, so let's do this. Well, for everybody out there, let me say this. I should have started with this. Bye week this week. The Saints, if you have a Saints play, I am still repping for my Saints. This is my Sunday shirt. I always wear it during football season.
Yes.
Sundays, I wear this shirt every Sunday. But the Saints are on a bye regardless. So get all you Saints players out of there. Seahawks out of there. Chargers out of there. And the Raiders out of there because they're all on buys this week. That's crazy. Me and Mike's doing the show today, and both our teams are on buys this week.
And we all remember that the Raiders and Saints played week 2.
Wow, really?
And we know what happened there.
Really? I don't want to hear that, Mike. All right. So real quick, Mike, we'll go to the start 'em sit 'em portion of the show. Yep. All right. I'll name 5. You name 5. And I'll tell you if you should start them or sit them, because I know a lot of people out there are wondering, should you start or sit these guys? I'll go first, so I'll let you get your list together. But should you start or sit Rob Gronkowski?
Sit him. Cameron Breit's the guy. I'm sticking to my guns there. I did start Gronkowski in one league just in case. Not an important league. But I would say Rob Gronkowski. He doesn't look like the normal Gronk.
Okay. Number 2, are you starting or sitting Mark Ingram today versus the Eagles?
I'm sitting him. I fucking traded him. Bro, I'm sending that dude. I sent that dude out of here. He's a touchdown or bust. And when I say bust, it's like 2-3 points bust. You're either getting 2 points from him or you're getting 8. Sit him.
Okay. Well, I know the answer to this one because you already said it. I'm concerned. So that's why this is my question. Are you starting or sitting OBJ?
Oh, he's a start. He's a start.
Oh.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. This is not the Ravens defense in terms of corners. You saw week 1, Odell got physically outmatched against the Ravens. Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey, they were in his grill. That's not going to happen with the Steelers. He's actually going to break out a little bit with the chances of blitz.
Okay. Would you start or sit Leonard Fournette today?
I'm sitting him. I think Ronald Jones is the guy. I'm not starting Leonard Fournette.
Okay, and my last one. Are you starting or sitting Kirk Cousins versus Atlanta? Oh! Atlanta's defense is bad.
It's very bad. It's very bad. If there's one week that you start Kirk Cousins, like I said, Justin Jefferson is a guy that I'm starting. I think he's one of your top flexes. Adam Thielen's always there. 300 yards and 2 touchdowns is not out of sync with Kirk Cousins this week.
I agree,
especially with the great running game that he's going to get from Alexander Madison. Fresh legs. I'd go ahead and start Kirk Cousins if you don't have better options. Obviously, if everybody else is off the waiver wire, if you're in a 16-team league, feel confident in starting Kirk Cousins.
Sounds good. You give me your 5 now.
All right. So number 5, we'll stay. We're going to go with the Broncos and Patriots game. We already talked about him. And Phillip Lindsey, really? You start Phillip Lindsey?
I would start him as a flex. I would start him as a flex. I think it's worth the start. I think that, they're going to try to ease on. And then he catches the ball at the backfield, too. So he'll get some dump downs, especially in the PPR league. I would start Phillip Lindsey.
No doubt. That's surprising to me. Tight end, Zach Ertz.
Oh, my man. Ertz has not been that guy this season. I'm starting him only because the tight end position is so hard to hit on. If you have a good tight end, you got to play him. But, man, I would not be confident in that pick. I'll be honest with you. Bad matchup. Hasn't played well. Don't trust his quarterback. But, who else you going to start in the tight end position? So I would definitely start Zach Ertz.
No doubt. The Lions and Jaguars. He's coming back from injury. Marvin Jones.
Oh, I'm starting Marvin Jones. I'm starting everybody in that game. I think that everybody's worth the start if they're healthy, you start them because at the end of the day, that's a shootout to me.
No doubt. That's somebody that I was struggling with early this week. The Cardinals and Cowboys game, I talked up Chase Edmonds. I talked down Kenyon Drake. Are you starting Kenyon Drake?
Yes. Kenyon Drake's getting 20 touches a game almost. Are you kidding me? The Cowboys defense, are horrible. The Cowboys defense has been horrible. Look, I traded Kenyon Drake in the MBS league. And watch this week. Watch what he's going to do. He's going to have a monster game because he's going up against the Dallas Cowboys.
That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. Okay. Terry McLaurin on the Washington football team. He's pretty consistent numbers.
I'm going to start him because the Giants, I'm just not a believer in the Giants. I think he's definitely at least worth the flex play. So I would definitely start Terry McLaurin.
Easy. And then lastly, this is I think we touched on this already. I know somebody in the chat is asking about him, Dibo Samuel.
Yeah, I would start Dibo as a flex. Just as a flex. I don't feel comfortable if it's a wide receiver 1 or 2. No, I'm staying away from him. But as a flex, he's worth the flex play. For sure. I'm about to ask you that question right now. Would you start Jerry Judy or Dibo Samuel?
I feel more comfortable with Dibo. I really do. Like you said, Jimmy Garoppolo's coming back. He's going to be more comfortable. Dibo Samuel's going to get touches. He'll be more comfortable. But Jerry Judy matched up against those Patriots corners against that secondary, I'm looking at 2-3 catches there, and I'm just not comfortable with that. He might sneak out a touchdown, an amazing catch. He really might get that, but I'm not trying to bet my fantasy week on one amazing catch.
Yeah, me neither. I would go Dibo Samuel as well. All right, Mike. This is your first time doing this, but this is my favorite segment.
Okay.
Last segment, we got our sleeper of the week, our dud of the week, and our stud of the week. Now, listen, here's how it goes. You cannot pick. I know this is your first time on the show, so you can pick anybody, but you cannot pick the same guy. Once you pick him, you can't pick him again, ever. If you come on the show, you cannot pick him for the rest of the year as your stud, dud, or sleeper of the week. So who you got as your sleeper of the week?
Sleeper of the week. Cameron Breit. I think, is my sleeper of the week. I've been talking him up. I think he's finally going to get a lot of more looks this week against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are going to be focused on Evans and Godwin, and they're not really looking at the tight end position. Gronkowski has been focused as more of a decoy. Cameron Breit is my sleeper of the week. I think he gets a touchdown, 5-6 catches. That's my sleeper of the week at the tight end position.
Okay, Keo's sleeper of the week for anybody out there is TJ Hockenson. I think he's been watching this show and he's thinking to himself, X brought up TJ Hockenson, so I'm going to tell a word about TJ Hockenson. But my sleeper of the week is Andy Dalton. I think that people are really sleeping on Andy Dalton. I can see Andy Dalton getting well over 20 fantasy points today or tomorrow. So I'm going Andy Dalton as my sleeper of the week. Let's go to our dud of the week.
Dud. You need a real sound for that. That was actually pretty good, though. Dud of the week. I'm looking at these. You talked up Mike Davis. I'm not confident in that. I'm not confident in that at all. I'm not confident in Mike Davis showing out against the Chicago Bears. I think they're gonna try to run the ball. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but I don't think he's gonna have much success. That's my dud of the week.
Okay, I like that one. That's a good one. So Keo has, of course he would. Keo is such a, oh my God.
He's a hater.
You're a hater, dude. He has AJ Brown. Why? Because I traded for AJ Brown. That dude is something else. Okay, so yes, AJ Brown. My dud of the week this week is a guy that I did trade away because I hated the matchup. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, oh no, I'm not playing him. Miles Sanders. I don't think he's gonna have the big game like everybody thinks he's gonna have going up against Baltimore. I think Baltimore shuts all that stuff down. He's my dud of the week. Favorite portion now, the stud of the week. We have candidates we heard on the show today, so let's see who you got, Mike.
So there's a running back that X tried to steal from me, but and I know this is a week-to-week thing, so you can't pick somebody else over it. But but I already put him at my number one running back. We know that he's going to get touches. We know he's going to be a stud. But somebody we haven't mentioned at all this week, this show, that I guarantee will be a stud, will be the stud of the week. Kyler Murray.
Wow.
Against the Dallas Cowboys? Are you kidding me? Monday night, prime time, soft. Probably the worst defense in the NFL right there. In the Dallas Cowboys. I expect Kyler Murray to have a huge game. He might rushing touchdowns, passing yards, passing touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be an absolute stud as well. He's obviously elite. You could put either one of them. Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins will be stud of the week. I'm saying Kyler Murray, stud of the week.
Okay, Keo, stud of the week. Look at that dude just be messing with me, man. His stud of the week is Andy Dalton. That dude is I mean, come on, Keo,
man.
Makes
sense. He's just a Cowboys fan, though.
Just copying, Mike. That's all. Oh, my God. All right, but my stud of the week, it's clear. If you know where I'm going with this, you've been tuning into the show, Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford is going to light it up today. He is the guy today. I think when we're going to look back at this week, we're going to say, man, that guy had a monster week, and he beat people by himself pretty much in fantasy this week. So I'm going Matthew Stafford as my stud of the week. With that being said, Mike, let's get to these shout-outs because the games are about to start.
4 minutes, 3 minutes, countdown. Shout out to my Raiders. Rest up. Get ready for that. Buccaneers game. Get some revenge on Tom Brady. Revenge on the Tuck rule. So shout out to Las Vegas Raiders out there. Shout out to all the fans. Shout out to everybody that watches the show and supports it. Shout out to X for bringing me on this week. I'm always available. Keo said he couldn't make it, so I popped in. Shout out to Stardom and Sid'em, my favorite show on Sundays for sure.
I appreciate that, man.
Well,
I appreciate you for stopping through, man. Definitely shout out to you. Shout out to Keo, man, for always helping out in any way that y'all can. Definitely appreciate it. And to all the fantasy owners out there, man, if you lose today, you have nobody but to blame but yourself. Not me or Mike or Keo. You have to blame yourself. Yeah. But if you win, like Drake says, man, thank us later. We out. Peace.